now I'm increasing the intensity by going stomach to the wall, as well as increasing the volume now, which in turn is going to have a greater influence on muscle growth.
Line them up, knock them down. Yeah. They said it was a grind. They said it takes time, yeah, I know. I guess they weren't lying. Every time I try to climb, they cut the rope. I fell straight to the bottom, got problems, I don't really want to talk about them, no. I've been down this road too many times to be afraid. I close my eyes when I walk down it.
What's going on, YouTube? You're back with the Prez, and we're in the home gym today, and today I'm going to be bringing you a full body weight only shoulder workout. I'm going to be displaying the top body weight exercises that you guys want to work up to get stronger at, to build strong, impressive aesthetic shoulders. Like always, guys, we're going to start with a warm-up. You guys most of the time see me doing this with bands, right? Resistance bands. Resistance bands are going to be a little bit easier of a tool that you guys can utilize to do these shoulder dislocates. But once you start building up shoulder mobility and get really comfortable with the band, I want you guys to graduate to a stick, either a PVC pipe, a broomstick, and remember, the narrower you place the hands, the harder the movement's going to be, and it's going to work on more mobility in the shoulders. So I'm going to be showing you my top 2 variations of these shoulder dislocates. So I'm just going to be doing 5 reps of each as a demonstration. So I actually already hit 20 reps of each prior to showing this first warm-up set, right? So standard shoulder dislocates, guys. You want your feet together, suck that stomach in, squeeze the glutes the whole time. And we just want to go from the waist all the way down to the lower back, back around. Right now with the band, guys, when you're using a resistance band, when you come to the back, if you can't bring your arms back, the band allows you to pull it wider and wider apart to allow you to increase the range of motion to help with the shoulder mobility, right? But once you get good with the band, like I said, a stick eliminates any stretch that you get when you're limiting range of motion, right? So the first variation was the easy variation. It was palms down on the stick. Now we're going to go, starting with the stick behind up, palms facing forward. Here, guys, this is the harder variation. I'm going to demonstrate it backwards so you guys can see. And from here, guys, you want to start at the lower back, all the way around, but here we're only coming just about to the front of our forehead, back around. So I definitely recommend hitting 2 sets of 10 reps of each variation before getting into any actual working sets, right? So you just saw a demo, easy variation, hard variation. Now we're going to get into the first actual exercise of the day. Alright guys, so the first exercise that I'm going to be doing, you may have seen me actually doing this as a warm-up, but today I'm going to be doing it for my working set. We're going to be starting with scapular retraction pull-ups, right? Really focusing on setting the shoulders down and back, placing them into more external rotation, really working on activating the scapula in a straight arm movement, right? Remember, the shoulder joint is going to be front delt, side delt, and the posterior chain. But then you have the traps, the rhomboids, they all work together, right? The scapula, everything are synergists. All these muscles are synergists, meaning they work together to increase the strength of the shoulders in general, right? So to have having a strong scapula, you can move through planes of motion correctly, is going to increase your overall shoulder strength and the posture that you actually sit in throughout the day, right? Remember, shoulders are the pinnacle of your posture, right? You don't want that rounded forward shoulder. That's going to lead to bad neck pains, shoulder pains, and obviously it's really bad posture, right? Too much time spent in internal rotation nowadays. We always want to make sure we have our chest up, shoulders back into that neutral position, right? So we're going to be doing for the first exercise, scapula pause pull-up. So I'm going to show you guys again from the back so you guys can see. We're going to start in a complete dead hang. We're letting the shoulders completely drop, where we're letting our ears almost drop, where our shoulders elevate to our ears. Now from here, guys, all we want to do is pull that bar down, retract our shoulder blades, pause in this position, drop all the way back down, passive dead hang, right? No engagement of the scap, retract, pull those shoulder blades back, pause, back forward. just gonna hit 3 sets of 5 reps, and this is gonna be more of an activation slash warm-up exercise, but we're counting it as a main exercise of the day. Remember, the shoulders work together with the scapula, the traps, and the rhomboids. So having them strong and warmed up before getting into any pressing exercises are going to set you up to be more stable, more secure, and stronger in your presses. So we're going to go 2 more sets of scapular retractions, and then we're going to get on to our main pressing exercise. Let's go.
So here's the second set. And another thing that these scapular retraction pull-ups are going to help you with is the front lever. This is the initial pull that you have to do to initiate a front lever hold. The first thing you do is depress the shoulders, retract the scapula down and back, and start pulling that bar down. That's what lifts up the lower body. That's when you have to start squeezing the glutes to engage the lower body to hold that front lever.
Alright, so I just finished 3 sets of the scapula pause pulls, right? Like I said, I use that more of an activation slash warm-up exercises for my shoulders. Now I'm going to get into my main pressing exercise. So last time you see me doing this exercise, I was doing it more in the strength range, falling in that 1 to 5 rep range. Remember, the more you practice an exercise and the better you get at it, the less it's going to be a strength exercise, and then you're going to start being able to hit it for more repetitions, working more volume, teetering on more of that hypertrophy rep range now, right? So, like I said before, if you're a beginner and just starting out on pull-ups, right? Pull-ups for you are going to be a strength-based exercise because you're going to be falling in that 1 to 5 rep range for multiple sets, right? As you get better and better at pull-ups and stronger at them, that 1 to 5 rep range is going to become easier and easier, and you're going to be able to hit more and more reps, working more volume, which is going to have a better improvement towards muscle growth. Right? Remember, hypertrophy means muscle growth. Building strength is more of a central nervous system adaptation, right? You're training the fibers and the overall central nervous system to be strong in a given movement, right? So now we're going to get into stomach to the wall handstand push-ups, but now we're going to hope to hit 6+ reps a set. Initially, I was falling in that 1 to 5 rep range for the last few weeks, but as I've been practicing more and more, hope my shoulders are strong enough now to hit higher volume reps. So we're going to go for 3 sets of stomach to the wall handstand push-ups. Let's go. We hit 7 reps the first set. I could have pushed out maybe 1 or 2 more, but again, you know I like to try to hit a consecutive 7 reps now for the next 2 sets without having a drop off. So I'll rest 2 minutes now, 2 more sets, and the goal is to hit 7 reps of these stomach to the wall handstand presses now. Let's go.
And remember, if you guys cannot do stomach to the wall handstand push-ups for this many reps, you can always go back to the wall. You could also always go pike. You guys got to work at the regression that's suitable for your level. Remember, stomach to the wall is going to mimic freestanding handstand push-ups the best. And remember, freestanding handstand push-ups are obviously going to be the hardest variation that you can do.
You can see, look, the second set only caught 6 reps. So I probably should have capped it at 6 reps on set 1. But regardless, I'm still passing that 5 rep range, working more, again now, adding volume, focusing more on muscle building now. Remember, strength is going to be when you're first getting better at movement. As I spoke in the past, when I was trying to get more volume, I always went back to the wall. But now I'm increasing the intensity by going stomach to the wall, as well as increasing the volume now, which in turn is going to have a greater influence on muscle growth in the shoulders. So 2 sets down, 1 more to go. Let's go. Set 3. I rested a good 2.5 minutes right now. Hoping to push out 7 for this last set. And there you go. See? If you need to rest in order to hit a requirement, in order to hit a certain amount of reps, take the rest, right? Shortening the rest period is only going to detriment the set. If you have a goal of hitting an X amount of reps and you know that you should take a little more break, take it. Strength training, especially when you're lifting those heavy loads, you need to let the nervous system recover. When you're more in that hypertrophy rep range, breaks should be 60 to 120 seconds, even up to 2.5 minutes, right? The lower the breaks, you start working more endurance aspect, right? And when you start doing lower and you start lowering the breaks and working on more endurance, that's when the intensity of the exercise is going to have a drop off as well. Because you can't do a hard exercise with a lot of intensity and take short breaks. So 3 sets, 7, 6, 7. So next time the goal is to hit all 3 sets of 7 reps. On to the next shoulder exercise. Alright, so 3 sets, handstand push-ups, done. Now you can't get the most bang for your buck with calisthenic exercises for your shoulders without tapping into some ring work. So you guys have seen this many times. We're going to be doing cross presses. Now remember, just because I'm doing this in a rack right now, it's limiting my range of motion in terms of how far I can go out, right? Remember, the farther you drop into a cross position, the more stress on the overall delt you're going to get. But because I have this rack, I'm going to be limited into the range of motion. So we're going to be going for 5 presses. I'm going to end it in L sit, and I'm going to drop down into a controlled negative muscle up. Now, when I drop down, I don't really have enough depth for me to go completely without my butt touching the floor. So we're keeping the straps long purposely on here to get a little more instability for the cross presses in general. So the negative is the least part of the exercise, but we're adding it in just for that time of detention and to put our shoulders through that full range of motion, going in a muscle up on the ring. So we're going to press up, right into a cross position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, L, muscle up negative. So we're going to go for 3 sets of this. And again, this is going to be working on full body tension, really controlling your body through space, keeping the shoulders under tension the entire time. So 3 sets of these ring crosses to muscle up negatives. Let's get it. Alright, let's go. 3rd set. Alright, so 3 sets. 5 rep cross presses, ending in an L sit, dropping down to a muscle up negative. So that was the 3rd exercise in the shoulder routine. We got 1 more shoulder exercise to go. See you there. Alright guys, so last exercise of the day. You guys are going to need any type of parallel bars, right? This can be done on a dip bar, parallettes, whatever you use, it really doesn't matter. Just has to be 2 parallel bars that you can work this exercise in. So we're going to be going straight arm, tuck planche holds for time, but I'm going to actually be getting into them in a little more of advanced variation. So I'm going to start leaning back, almost in an impossible dip position. So watch guys, this is going to place a ton of stress on the entire posterior chain. This is just a variation I'm doing. You guys do not have to do this. So and then you want to end back in a full L sit. So the real exercise, tuck planche hold, 5 to 15 seconds, dropping back down into a controlled L sit hold, and we're going to aim this exercise we're going to do for 4 total sets. Because the overall time of detention is relatively low, we're only hitting about 5 to 15 seconds in that planche hold, so we want to work a few more sets to increase the volume and time of detention. So 3 more sets to go. Let's get it. All right, guys. Second set. Whew. So I only rested about 90 seconds in between set 1 and set 2, but I only caught probably right there, maybe a good 7-second tuck planche hold. So I know now I'm going to have to rest a little bit longer to get a good 10-second hold. So I'll rest now 2 minutes in between set 2 and set 3. 2 more sets to go. Alright guys, set 3. Rested a good 2 minutes in between set 2 and set 3 right now. And you can see, letting my body recover for the sufficient amount of rest time allowed me to again increase that time that I was able to hold the tuck planche. That's why I talk about the importance of break periods, especially when you're working strength-based exercises. And these tuck planches are a strength-based exercise. They're teaching the entire nervous system to be strong with my arms locked out straight and all of the body weight and leverage is leaning onto the front delt. So it's a strength building exercise until I can work this for more 30, 45 seconds. Then I'm building up more endurance in that aspect of the exercise, right? So 1 more set to go. I'll rest a good 2 minutes again and get another 10-second solid hold. All right, guys, you know how the saying goes? Last set, best set. So I tried to go through to a little bit of a planche kick out before I got into the hold, but obviously I'm pretty fatigued at this point, right? I probably should have tried that on the first set, but again, went for the kick out, failed on it, recovered, and got a solid 8-second tuck planche hold, right? So those are the 4 exercises I'm doing today to train my shoulders. Body weight only, even though you guys need rings to get the most benefit out of the training. Alright guys, and that's a wrap for the shoulder workout. My camera actually died as I was trying to record that last outro clip for you guys. But you guys saw I attempted to do a planche kick out. I don't know how much actually got recorded when I was speaking, but I ended up failing on the planche kick out, but I caught a solid 8-second tuck planche hold for my final set. So like I was saying, 4 main exercises today for our shoulders. First one, we started with those retracted pause rep scapular pull-ups. Really focusing on the rear delt and the entire posterior chain, setting our shoulders up to be in a healthy position and strong position for when we got into our main pressing exercise. Now, the second exercise of the day was our press work. You guys want to pick a variation where you can work in that hypertrophy rep range, falling in that 6 to 10 reps. Usually I would have to do back to the wall handstand push-ups, but because I was getting stronger and stronger in the stomach to the wall, I'm now able to teeter on that hypertrophy rep range and do stomach to the wall for higher volume. But if you guys need to do back to the wall to add volume, do your handstand push-ups back to the wall. If back to the wall is still hard for you guys, drop down to a pike press variation. Any variation that you guys can fall in that 6 to 12 rep range for the 3 consecutive sets. From there, we went into our ring work, cross presses, and then we ended with those tuck planche holds, which are really going to stress the front delt. So, very minimal equipment needed. You guys can do this whole routine in the park. All you really need to purchase for yourself is a pair of gymnastic rings. Gymnastic rings are going to be the best piece of equipment that you guys could invest in for overall full upper body training and as well as overall shoulder health. Parallel bars, I did mine on my parallettes, but you guys could do that last exercise on dip bars, or if you have a dip attachment in your gym, you can do it there as well. So 4 main exercises for the shoulders. Remember guys, shoulders are going to be the pinnacle of your physique. They're going to give you that wide look. And like always guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you have a question, leave it in the comments section. Like the video, it really helps the algorithm out. Sharing the video also helps the algorithms out. And like always guys, I appreciate all the support. And like always, peace out. BARNATURALS.
For a die, I'm top 3. For a die, I'm top 3. For a die, look.